Welcome back, my friends. If you're new here, I am Lance. If you return, welcome back to the channel. So many of you have been letting me know that American Horror Story Season 13 is going to be the season I'm going to love. They're bringing back Coven. We're going back to Louisiana. We're going back to the Coven house. Apparently, all the same actors are coming back, including Jessica Lange. Y'all been letting me know about Jessica Lange's coming back this season. I don't know how they well, you know, rent is due, so you know how the state of Hollywood is. So I bet they really wanted to get this paycheck. So not surprised, but I'm really excited. But I'm always very apprehensive with Ryan over here, because you know we know his track record with series. It always starts off strong, and then it goes limp. We don't want that in the bedroom. We don't want that on our TV show. But I'm still hopeful because they're bringing back a lot of our beloved characters. Queenie. They just announced Skyler Gaetano. I believe it's Italian. Came out with a video that says American Horror AHS 13. God, we're on season 13. Jesus. Another Coven sequel. Everything we know. Let's check it out. And I'll leave the link for Skyler down below. Let's get right into it. I'm really excited. I want to know, apparently, I don't know if they're starting filming yet, but I know they are already announcing the cast members. So hopefully we'll find out more. And of course, if you'd like to support this channel, please like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. Plus, if you'd like to support me a little bit more personally, become a channel member or hop on my Patreon and support me over there.
Officially rolling on season 13 of American Horror Story, and it is time for another roundup of all of the news and rumors regarding the star-studded installment. And trust me, we already have a lot to talk about. But first, if you don't know me, my name is Skyler Gaetano, and I make videos about my favorite horror movies and TV shows. And recently, I've been doing a series of deep dives on American Horror Story. I just did Coven and Murder House, which means, of course, Apocalypse is coming next this month. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss that. However, I did not know just how relevant these 3 seasons would be to the production of American Horror Story Season 13, because without a doubt, I can definitely say we will return to Robichaux again this year. If you didn't hear, last October, the cast for the season was revealed, including American Horror Story legends Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, Gabri Sidibe, Billy Lord, Leslie Grossman, Emma Roberts, Kathy Bates, Angela Bassett, and Jessica Lange. To top it off, it was also announced that megastar Ariana Grande would also be a part of the ensemble. Notably, it's been 7 years since we last saw Kathy Bates, Angela Bassett, or Jessica Lange on this show, with coincidentally all 3 of their last appearances being in the same episode, the finale of Apocalypse. If you're not familiar, Apocalypse was the first full-blown crossover season of American Horror Story, combining storylines and characters from American Horror Story Murder House and AHS Coven. And while it was very hyped amongst the fan base, it infamously crashed and burned in its second half, which is why, alongside Celebration, you're also seeing a lot of raised eyebrows at the confirmation that season 13 is shaping up to be yet another crossover season. First things first, filming officially began on April 6th, 2026, and it was commemorated with an Instagram post from series co-creator Ryan Murphy, giving us a look at the much-anticipated return of Jessica Lange. In the photos, we only see a back view of Lange, but it does appear that she is in costume for her season 13 role, and perhaps she may be standing in one of the primary sets for the season. Little did we know that Murphy had a whole week's worth of surprises in store for us though, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, as there's still a lot to unpack here with just this day one first look. Stating the obvious, any AHS fan is going to point out this outfit and hairdo is nearly a copy and paste from a couple looks Lange has previously worn as a Murder House character, Constance Langdon. Notably, it is a different style dress in terms of cut and sleeve length, with a similar blue floral pattern to the one that she wore in both seasons 1 and 8.
Yeah,
this
that's
still
pretty
very much
signature.
seems like an intentional visual nod to Constance Langdon.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Then in the comments section, Murphy dropped a bomb when, in response to a fan asking for the Coven to return, he commented, "Done," which was our first official confirmation that season 13 was another witch season. The fan also specifically asked for Angela Bassett to once again reprise her role as Marie Laveau, and with the way the reveals of the week shaped out to be, I'd say that's a pretty safe bet that Marie Laveau is returning to our screens this year. So, while season 13 being a Coven follow-up has since been heavily confirmed, there's still been very little to confirm that the season may also have a Murder House connection, aside from this Constance Langdon-esque first look. 2 days later, Murphy gave fans another bombastic update confirming the return of Sarah Paulson as Cordelia Good, as well as the return of Robichaux's Academy. His caption read, AHS 13, the return of Sarah Paulson as Cordelia Good, the Supreme rises. And yes, we have rebuilt the entire Robichaux's Academy, coming this September. Lots to unpack there. Let's take it from the top. The return of Cordelia, the Supreme rises. If you don't recall, spoiler alert, AHS Apocalypse ended with Cordelia performing the sacred taking by killing herself, allowing Mallory to temporarily rise as the Supreme and take out the Antichrist. Mallory spends about 5 minutes as Supreme, though, as she immediately travels back in time and kills the Antichrist and finds herself 3 years in the past, having reset the timeline and saved the world from the apocalypse. But by doing this also means that she's no longer Supreme anymore, as back in time, Cordelia is still Supreme at the end of Apocalypse. I know, super confusing, but this isn't the Apocalypse deep dive. But since we are officially returning to Robichaux's, I would have to assume that we are returning to this reset timeline at the end of Apocalypse, where Cordelia is still Supreme and training a large class of witches, including the secretly powerful Mallory. This would make sense with the casting of Billy Lord, Gabri Sidibe, and Leslie Grossman in season 13, whose characters were all alive in this timeline. As you know, I'm filming the Apocalypse deep dive right now, and trust me, the one thing we don't want to revisit is one of the worst conclusions of any season ever.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Apocalypse I think I only saw it one time through. Coven I've seen I've lost count how many times I've seen that. Well, now when it gets to like, I'll fast forward through some parts because like the second episode where they found Tay I usually fast forward that part. Whatever. But most of the rest of the season, some of the last episode is I kind of fast forward a lot of parts then, and I can kind of forget some of those parts because I just pretend they're not there. But anyway, I watched that season the most. Apocalypse, yeah, one time. I think I rewatched the last episode a couple times, but like the first time I watched it all the way through, and then I kind of skipped some parts, and I wanted to rewatch some other parts again. Because I was like, I think I missed something, and I was so confused after I watched it. So, but there were some good parts of Apocalypse I liked. There was like some good scenes I liked, and there were some parts that I was just like, where is this going? That's the one thing about Ryan Murphy. There's like some points that I'm like, oh my god, this part right here is so cool. If you can expand this out for the whole season. But no, you get a lot of parts that are just kind of draggy. Or I think they're just trying to be weird, just try to be shocking. And it just kind of throws you off guard, and they want to do these little M. Night Shyamalan ding dong twists or something like that. I think he wants to be a twist master. I don't know.
That's not what the fans want to see. That's literally what the fans don't want to see. Do you understand? Like that's not what they want to see. And that's not what the fans want to see. That's what the fans, I promise you, don't want to see.
That said, as you will see in the incoming deep dive, I have a love-hate relationship with Apocalypse, and I believe it was at its strongest in episodes 4 and 5 when it was feeling the most like a Coven sequel. So if we're going the cheap fan service route, I know we will at least get some fun moments out of the season, but I really hope that they have learned from the fans' reactions to Apocalypse and also Red Tide that we don't want these huge actors to be brought back for a season that, by the end, fizzles out and loses all of its intrigue, stakes, and tension. So would a Coven Apocalypse sequel have been my first choice for season 13 as a fan? No, absolutely not. I love original seasons, and I also think seasons like Cult, Freak Show, Asylum, or Roanoke could easily have an interesting follow-up or crossover season if they wanted to try and get some older fans back on board with the show, rather than doing something they've literally already done. We don't have to bring back the witchcraft theme, which has now been used in 4 main seasons and 1 spin-off episode. Not to mention, hey, we did witches last season. But I can't change the fact that the Robichaux set is back up and the Cordelia wig is glued down, so let's just buckle up and have a good time. Since the witches are back,
is that a wig? Is that really a wig? Oh, maybe it is really. That's a damn good wig. If that's a wig, I thought they just dye her hair, bleached her hair. No, that could be a real. Well, when was the last time I saw Sarah Paulson? No, she had like a little bob. Yeah, that's a damn good wig. If that's a more than a $35 wig. Yeah, that's more. How much what is that? Is that a $49.99? No, that's a damn good wig though. That's a wig. God damn, that's a wig that you spent. I bet you that's a $600-$700 wig right there. That's human hair, baby. If that's not synthetic. That is human hair right there. Because it just looks so real. If that's a wig. Anyway, what do you guys think about the spin-off to American Horror Story? The American Horror Stories? What do you guys think? Have you seen that? I specifically paid for Hulu for that. By the way, Hulu, I spend good money on my Wi-Fi, on my connections. And how do I still got buffering? Who had the worst buffering I've ever had? And I pay good money for my fucking internet. And Hulu, you need to get your shit together. You act like you hired people from the DMV to work for your company. Because I don't know what the fuck you do over there, Hulu, because you ain't doing shit for me. I pay for 1 month. And going back to American Horror Stories, when it wasn't buffering and when I was watching, it was mediocre. It was very mid. It's basically something to tide the fan base over until the next season comes. It's like RuPaul's Drag Race. You know, they have other spin-offs until you get the real meat and potatoes of the real season coming up. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the Ryan Murphy version of it instead of RuPaul's version of it. You know, you get some spin-off during the summer so you can wait till the fall. You get the main season back again with the real actors instead of the B-list actors that, you know, up-and-coming actors they have in the stories. I don't know. That's my gripe about it. Anyway, let's keep going.
To be back and give them a strong, capable opponent who puts up a good fight with a plot that draws from the strengths of Coven and resolves in a clever, satisfying way. If that's too much to ask, just give us at least 70% of what I just said and it'll still be pretty solid. I'm really not that hard to please, trust me. Also, in Murphy's caption, he confirmed that the season will premiere in September, which reflects the similar release dates of the previous 6 seasons. But filming is starting October. A bit earlier, so hopefully that is a good sign. Next, Murphy had another headline-inducing update on the season when he posted the following video to Instagram.
My name is Amber Bailey, and we are here in my home. I am born and raised from Atlanta, Georgia. Raised by my grandparents, pretty much.
Surprise, bitch. Bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
Oh, hey girl, it's you again. So, based on what I said earlier about the timeline Apocalypse ends on, Madison is still back in hell, but Mallory says she will eventually go get her. She just wants She just wants Madison to sweat it out a bit longer in hell, which brings me to my next point. Madison Montgomery is a complex character that gets done severely dirty in both Coven and Apocalypse. So now that we've got confirmation that Emma Roberts' role in the season will be her third go-round as Madison Montgomery, can we actually treat her with some humanity or even an ounce of forgiveness? She grows as a character in Apocalypse, but still by the end of it, she's treated like she's still that mean girl that we met at the start of the season, despite all that she's been through. And she's not actually evil, you guys. Next, let's look at
That's you made a good point there, Skyler. You made a good point there. I didn't realize it's almost like a humiliation ritual for poor Emma. It's like that Sam Levinson who puts his poor actresses through like a humiliation ritual, allegedly. It just seems like they do that with poor Emma. And she does have a good character. She just pulls off that little Valley Girl bitchy. It was a prime display on Scream Queens. I was enamored with Emma Roberts after Scream Queens. I liked her in Coven. She was all right in Coven. I thought she had some good parts. I think Emma Roberts is a great up and coming actress. She has a lot of potential. She could play a lot of roles. But you got to be careful, Emma, because you can get typecasted in this kind of character forever. But luckily, she kind of tries to go back and she tries to do other little things. But she plays this character. So. Madison Montgomery, Chanel number 69, whatever.
And you'll notice that they've recreated a very specific corner of the portrait room, which I'm very excited about. It's also known as the Ancestor Room, which we first saw in AHS Coven, and that was the only time we saw it. They did not rebuild it for Apocalypse. As I've already stated in my Apocalypse deep dive, this is the room they should have recreated in that season rather than the barely seen in Coven dining room that they did a pretty bad job at that. The portrait room was the primary meeting place in Coven. Now I just gotta hope that they really go all in with.
That was supposed to be, I thought that was like a meeting room for the witches. I was like, oh, they got their own little meeting room. That was supposed to be the dining room. After all these years, I thought, wow, they have their own little witches meeting room. That's supposed to be the recreation of the dining room? Let's go back for a second. I gotta see that again. Holy shit. I guess I really... They have food in bowls right in front of them, and I still clocked it as like almost like a cabinet beneath them. Like a meeting room. That's a see that. Look at the first one. They had some real money here. And how are you gonna go for? Wow. See how grandioso Robichaux's Academy looks like. They look like they're staying at a Hilton hotel room or something like that, like an extended suite. That's where it looks like. This is where they're filming. They filmed in an extended suite. Motel 6.
Pretty bad job at that. The portrait room was the primary meeting place in Coven. Now I just gotta hope that they really go all in with recreating this grand space with tall ceilings and all. I mean, they're in a soundstage, they can do tall ceilings, and if you can't get exact matches of the portraits, we won't care that much about that. They've got the important ones. I saw Anna Lee Layton and whatnot.
I do. Skyler.
Room with portraits. You have so much reference material to use at your disposal. Don't pull an Apocalypse. So again, I'm very happy to see that there will at least be an attempt to use the more recognizable rooms in Coven than those 3 tiny sets from Apocalypse. Next, let's discuss where filming is taking place this year, as it might surprise you to know it's neither the home of Robichaux's nor the home of the Murder House. Season 13 is expected to be filming in New York City up until July 22nd under the codename Penthouse, but in that codename, there's a 3 instead of an E. Speaking on that codename for a second, before Ryan went and spilled so many beans, I was going to theorize that this 3 was a hint that season 13 would be a 3rd season of Coven.
And indeed it was. So
AHS always films under a production code name. Here are some from seasons past. Sometimes there's a hint, sometimes not.
Cul-de-sac.
I really think that if there was a hint...
Pause. Shut the fuck up. We'll get to what I'm just looking at there for a second. Roanoke is under cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac? That's your nickname for that one? Okay. Cult is Spring Fever. Okay. Apocalypse is Radioactive. Okay, that's I kind of like that, like code phrase there. Double feature. Oh, double feature. I forgot about double. I didn't watch double feature. I watched the first episode. I did not like that season. No. Pilgrim. Pilgrim should have been with Roanoke, and Cul-de-sac should have been with double feature. Why isn't Pilgrim under codename Pilgrim for Roanoke? Okay, whatever. I guess I'm thinking too much. This is what I was saying. Oh my God, too. NYC, which is the gayest season of American Horror Story, is under. Oh, Bandana. I thought it was under Banana. You know, like a phallic dick. It's Bandana. I saw it as Banana. My bad. I was like, y'all ain't shit. Put it under Banana, under the gayest season of the series. But it's Bandana. It'd been funny. Actually, you know what? I wish it was under Banana because I could like roast it and still laugh about it. Okay, and Delicate is the Hamptons. That's not Delicate. Did you? I didn't even bother watching Delicate, y'all. I didn't even. Well, that's the Kardashian season. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not watching no fucking Kardashian. Get the fuck out of my face. Fucking bitch. She can lick my vagina. I don't even have one.
It was the 3. AHS has filmed in New York City for both seasons 11 and 12, so it makes sense that production would resume there. But it is a bit hilarious that every season featuring Robichos has been filmed on a wildly different side of the states. Before I get into rumor territory, let's discuss some other bits of news that have dropped along the way since we last talked. Firstly, legendary artist, filmmaker, and actor John Waters announced himself that he will have a role in season 13.
Oh wow,
and
really?
Previously announced cast member Ariana Grande recently told interviewers that her role in the season would be small.
I'm coming into the world in a way that I don't know much about yet, and
How did it come about? How did it come about? Did Ryan just approach you?
Yes, I received a text, a very exciting text that I can't say much about. But I think I'll probably have a very tiny thing to do in it, but I'll be grateful to be a part of it because I love everyone involved.
This makes sense, given the filming schedule is overlapping with her rehearsals for tour and the tour itself, and goddammit, she just started officially teasing a new album literally this same week. Thank you so much, Ariana, by the way. Then, for the 5 of you who are clamoring for more American Horror Stories, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but according to Rick Porter at The Hollywood Reporter, the spinoff is currently in limbo.
Oh,
which in
that's a damn shame.
Can either mean it's gone for good, or perhaps he'll give it another go in 7 years, like Feud. Alright, now let's discuss this rumor that's made the rounds on
Oh my. Did you guys watch Feud with Bet and Joan? Did you watch that? Ryan Murphy, you did a fucking great job on that. That fucking season was amazing. Feud with Jessica Lange and Susan Sarandon. 2 freaking longtime actress icon, like battling it out in a cage match. Goddamn you, Ryan. Thank you for that season. That was the best fucking piece of television I saw in years. Star-studded cast. They had Catherine Zeta-Jones, Tina Turner, Meghan Markle. I'm just kidding. No fucking Meghan Markle. That's the fucking area. No fucking Kardashian or Jenners in the site. I wish they had Paris Hilton. That'd be awesome. But it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful. Did you guys watch that Feud? If you haven't, check out Feud.
Media claiming that there will be a major format change in season 13 of AHS, with the show committing to a shorter 30-minute runtime as opposed to the traditional hour-long drama format. Additionally, the rumor claims that the season will contain 13 episodes. When I first read this, I thought it was absolutely fake, and while this has still not been confirmed, the more I think about it, it seems like something they could possibly do, but definitely not something I want. This rumor originates from Horror Story News on Instagram, who to their credit get a lot of stuff right but they just don't cite their sources. They have anonymous sources, and that's not confirmation to me, unfortunately. But if you recall, back in season 11, the show pulled a gimmick of airing 2 episodes a night across 5 weeks. So I can see them justifying the 30-minute runtime if they aired 2 a week. But again, let's just take this with a grain of salt right now. And there you have it. That is everything we know about AHS Season 13, and things are clearly going down a pretty nostalgic route. As a fan of the show, I of course have mixed feelings about this. A little part of me holds out hope that they'll right the wrongs of Apocalypse and maybe even Coven, but that little part of me is heavily outweighed by the doubts I have based on the actions and decisions by the very people involved in this upcoming season. So at this point, we'll just have to wait and see. And no matter what, we have a fun year of AHS ahead of us. And who knows, it could be the last. So I'm going to enjoy it and hope they don't do anything too crazy.
Work, Skyler. Shout out to Skyler and the fucking video. Very a nice voice. He has a very nice radio voice. Very nice. Very lovely. He came up with some good points. It's listen to this. I was going to start laughing because when he was talking about Ryan Murphy, it sounds like the same grievances I have with Bethesda with Fallout. It's like we accept some nonsense. Like when he said, I'm not that hard to please. Like you don't have to have, this and that. He said, I'm not that hard to please. Please, just I'm a huge fan. Just give me something that, When he said that, I almost start laughing because it reminds me of me when I talk about Bethesda with their glitches and their bugs and their nonsense. But I still love the product. I still love the world. I still love playing the game. But there's some things I just kind of like. If the game crash, I just kind of overlook some things. Like it's Bethesda. It's the way he says like it's Ryan Murphy. As a fandom, that's crazy. To say that we accept certain okay, fine, okay, all right, we'll eat a little shit here. As a fandom, sure, we'll eat a little shit just because we love this product, because you guys, an upper echelon who's making decisions, you guys fucking are assholes, but we still love the product. Even though we don't like this and this and this, but overall, the whole product itself, we are enamored with. So when he mentioned about it, just kind of reminded. I was like, God, the parallels of. I forgot about a lot. I kind of trail off with some seasons. Like when the American Horror Story first came out, the first season came out. I watched the first season. Premiere night. I watched it live. I didn't record. I recorded it, of course, but I watched it live. I watched all the commercials. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4. Then Season 5, I didn't make a point to. I start trailing off. I start. Okay, I'll watch it after it's recorded. Then the next season after that, I was like, I kind of watched it a week or two later because the theme of the series, Roanoke was the one I'm still kind of wishy-washy on, to be honest. Roanoke, I'm still not a big fan of. Now thinking back up, Roanoke, I'm not a big fan of, to be honest with you. I cannot tell you, there's certain seasons, there's always something I could take out of it. Like there's a scene or there's something to it that I'm like, oh, that kind of grabs me. Oh, that season was good because of this, that, or the other. Roanoke didn't do that for me. There was good actors, yes. The theme was interesting. Roanoke, I'm kind of curious about that whole Roanoke, story from history. I'm very curious about that. They still talk about it to this day on History Channel and all these other channels. And I thought it might be kind of interesting. I was like, not why, Freak Show was, I didn't think I would like as much because I'm not into like Freak Show type of thing. But that was a good season. There was some parts of it that I was just kind of like, oh God. But they had that little girl, the smallest woman in the world or something like that. She was a great little actress. She was adorable. I was so enamored with her when she got taken out in the show. I was crying. I was sobbing right next to Jessica Lange in that scene. I was like, oh my God, she was such a heart of the show. Like, Freak Show, at the end, I really like. Fucking, oh my God, Angela Bassett blew that character out of the water. She was so good. They're all good. They're all good. The main guy who's the bad guy, he's a good actor, but I hated that character. Dandy, isn't his name Dandy? They also have Mr. Twisted the Clown in there too, remember that? I think that was the first introduction to Twisted the Clown. Sorry, I'm still trying to get over my cold, y'all. But double feature, I did not watch. I didn't like the premise of it. I didn't watch it. Did you guys watch it? I didn't watch it. I refused to watch it. I protested it. I did a silent protest, and I was like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, because this sounds like shite. Pure, unadulterated shite, Ryan Murphy. I did not watch double feature. I actually forgot about double feature until you mentioned it there, Skyler. Till you mentioned it, I was like, oh, I forgot. Yeah, that one. Delicate. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. The only reason why, if I would watch that, is because of Emma Roberts. That's the only reason why I would watch that scene, is because of Emma. And I still didn't even watch that scene. Because of fucking... I hate that girl. She wants to be Paris Hilton so goddamn bad. She was Paris Hilton's lackey. Gopher. Like, you all suck this girl's tit. Like, no, she's no Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton is the it girl. I'm sorry. I'm from that generation. I remember seeing the premiere episode of the what was it? The Simple Life. I couldn't think about it. Talk about, I'm a big fan of Paris, and I can't remember the show. Fuck you, Kim, and your Skims, and your whole fucking leech of a family. I hate y'all. Big booty Armenian hoes. God damn. Bunch of fucking prostitutes, allegedly. Yacht girls, allegedly been hearing around the interwebs. Yachting girls. We all know about what those yachting girls do for those billionaires. Anyway, we're getting off the subject of American Horror Story anyway. See, you can't get me start ranting and raving. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you think about this. What do you think about it? I'm kind of now after he kind of talks about, really got me more excited, to be honest with you. Apprehensive, obviously, but I'm still kind of excited to see the old cast again. And please make the sets. I agree with Skyler on this one. At least recreate the sets like they were in at least season 3. Like, when he put that side by side together, I realized, I was like, holy shit, they really downgraded. That's a downgrade, y'all. Did you not have a budget? Why did you try the Motel 6 like conference room? Actually, that looked a bit nicer there. Motel 6. Anyway, let me know what you thought in the comments. I'll leave the link for Skyler down below. And yeah, if you want, let me know if you want to check out, see if there's any new updates on this show. If you're curious of a little bit more updates, let me know in the comments. And please like and subscribe. It really helps. Since YouTube Shorts, I can't make any YouTube Shorts because the remix thing is glitched out. I'm screwed. So please like, and please show engagement, because it's like a free fall. It's like the stock market crash on my views on my channel right now. I'm just help me out. Help a bitch out, y'all. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace.